I'll be showing 7 new features in Microsoft Edge. The first new feature is sleeping tabs in Edge. So what this means is if I left a couple of tabs open, I've got a bunch of tabs up here, I've just got a couple here, Edge will put them to sleep. You can see they're kind of dimmed out right here, the Wikipedia tab and the MSN tab. What that means is it reduces memory usage by 32% when your tabs go to sleep, and it can increase battery life by up to 37%. So what that means is Edge is being more efficient. And if I click on one of these tabs, it'll bring it back awake. So I click on Wikipedia, it immediately comes back. Let's say you left your browser open and there's a bunch of tabs all night, and you come back in the morning. Now you're not going to have a big memory hog. All those tabs will be asleep. And if you want to click on them, just click and they come right back awake. Now what you can do is you can set the settings. If I go to the 3-dot menu here and I go to settings, search for sleeping tabs here, save resources. I'm going to say put inactive tabs to sleep, and I can set it. I've set mine to go to sleep after 5 minutes, but you could say after 30 minutes or an hour. It's up to you to customize that, and I've got this on by default. And you can also add something here. If you say, I never want a certain site to go to sleep, you can custom add that site right into here. The second new feature is Kids Mode in Edge. This allows Edge to go into a special mode if you have kids or children, or if you have students, and you can have it simplified and safe for either 5 to 8-year-olds or 9 to 12. So if I go to the upper right here, I'll click the profile button and I'm going to choose browse in kids mode. And this is going to launch that experience. First, I'm going to choose an appropriate age range. This will give me fun themes, privacy settings, and Bing safe search, and tracking prevention. So I can choose 5 to 8 years old or 9 to 12, depending on the age range of my kids. So I'll choose 5 to 8. Now you can see it's a nice kind of fun, simplified experience. I have some apps pinned at the bottom: Office, Minecraft, PBS, National Geographic, Math. And at the top, we've simplified it. So the toolbar is not there by default. There's a way to pull it back down. So if I go here and hover, you'll see that comes back down. Now I can also change the background, and this is probably one of the best parts if you're a kid. Click here, and I can choose different colors and backgrounds. So maybe I want to choose a little Cars, or maybe I'm going to go choose a little Frozen with Elsa. And I'll just go here and go back to where I was in the beginning, but there are some fun themes to choose from. Now by default, Kids Mode locks down a lot of different sites, and there's only 50 or so default sites. You can add some or subtract, but let's say I go here and somebody searches for Amazon, and someone's going to click on this site to go buy something. Oh, Kids Mode can't get to this site. So the student would have to get permission here or go back. And so a lot of the links that you'll find in the safe search for Bing aren't allowed to be clicked on unless you give permission. Now the other thing is, if I want to leave this as a kid, I can't just leave on my own. If I hit close to get out, I have to give the parental PIN. So you could leave Kids Mode on all the time on a certain browser that's being used. And so in this case, I will here give my PIN, and then you can exit. So students can't just leave Kids Mode and then boot the normal Edge. If they're in that, they are kept there. And lastly, if you want to change some of the settings, I'll go to the 3-dot menu here and go down to Settings. And we'll go to Family right here, and you can have 9 to 12 or 5 to 8. You can prompt, so it always asks what age range, or maybe, hey, maybe you have a 10-year-old and you always want it to go to 10-year-old mode. You can also manage the different sites. So if I click here, I can add and subtract sites that I want to be there in Kids Mode. The third new feature is the Immersive Reader is now fully supported on Wikipedia. So the Immersive Reader was inclusively designed to help all people with reading and accessing content. And so Wikipedia is one of the most popular sites in the world. Immersive Reader works by default now. So I have a Colosseum example here on Wikipedia. I'm going to go to the upper right, and there's this Immersive Reader button. And I'm going to click this to enter. So this is the full Immersive Reader. It is now set up to work inside of Wikipedia. I can do things like double click anywhere and start reading. So I'll hit read aloud.
Is the largest ancient amphitheater ever built.
And that is a high quality neural text-to-speech voice. You can change voice options, faster or slower. I can change the text preferences, so I can make the text much bigger. I can do different background colors. For those of you that have seen the Immersive Reader, you'll know that this is how the Immersive Reader works. And I can do things like grammar tools, so break words into syllables. The words are broken there. I can highlight the nouns, verbs, and adjectives. There we go. Reading preferences, I'll turn a couple of these off. I can do things like line focus, to focus my eye just on 3 lines or 1 line, and I can scroll that up and down. Picture dictionary, so here's an example, click on oval. And then lastly, you can translate into all these languages. I can translate into 110 languages. I'm going to choose French in this case and choose Translate Entire Page. And now I'll read aloud.
Amphithéâtre debout dans le monde aujourd'hui, malgré son...
So all of that is built right into the Edge browser for Wikipedia. And a shortcut to exit Immersive Reader is F9. So now I'm back into Wikipedia, and this works on any page in Wikipedia. The fourth new feature is a dictionary added to PDFs in Edge. So I've got a PDF here that's open in Edge, and Edge is a great PDF reader. So I can highlight a word like assessment right here, let go, and you're going to see there's an option that says define. If I click this, it defines the word assessment. I can read it out loud.
Assessment, assessment.
And I get a nice definition. I can search the web for assessment, and I can even copy that word right here. The fifth new feature is two-page view for PDFs. If I go to the toolbar right here, there's this page view. If I click this, I have the option to choose 2 pages. Now that PDF goes into a different layout like this, and it's a little bit easier to read. This is kind of similar to what we used to have in the old Edge. And so this reading view for some people is a little more pleasing in terms of reading page to page. The sixth new feature is Math Solver integration with Edge to help out with math. First, let's click plus to open a new tab, and we will type Edge:/flags. And this will allow you to pull up custom flags and new features. And then we're going to type in math, and you'll see Math Solver in Edge. We're going to drop this down, and we will choose enabled. And a note, I'm in builds 92 right now. So if you don't yet have that build, it should be out very soon. And then we'll click restart. Okay, now Math Solver is enabled. What I'll do is go into settings and enable that in my toolbar. So I'll go to the 3-dot menu here and go to settings and then appearance. And you'll scroll down, and down here you're going to see show Math Solver button. And I'm going to turn this switch on. And you'll see this little Math Solver button appears on the toolbar right there. Now I'm going to pull up a sample algebra problem and show how this works. So I have a set of algebra expressions right here, and I want a little bit of help solving these. So I'm going to go up to the upper right and click the Math Solver button. It opens up this pane, and it says drag and resize the box around the problem you want to solve. Okay, I'm going to drag my box, click and drag right on here, and I will let go. And there's a little pop-up that says solve. Let's click that. So Math Solver runs OCR and immediately solves this, but the best part is I can show solution steps. So if I click this, I get the step-by-step solutions on how to solve that problem. And at the top, I can even go here if I need to change this, if the OCR didn't come through properly. In this case, it did. I can use this math keyboard and enter all sorts of great math equation info. And down at the bottom, there's recommended videos and how to get more different learning content on how this all works. The other nice thing is I can go directly into the Math Solver app from here. So if I click here, I can open this up right in the Math Solver site. And you can see mathsolver.microsoft.com. It has everything here. It even has the Immersive Reader I could launch on this. So if I wanted to read this math out loud or do all those other things that the Immersive Reader lets me do, I can do that directly from the Math Solver app. And there's all sorts of other topics, pre-algebra, algebra, trigonometry, and calculus. So all of this came right from Edge in this Math Solver that is now built in. The seventh new feature is improvements to themes in Edge. So I'm going to go to the 3-dot menu right here, and I will choose settings. Now I'll click on appearance. And Edge now has all these great color themes. So if I want to have a cool breeze theme, you can see the top is blue, spicy red, mystical forest. I'm more of a one-note purple kind of guy, so I will choose juicy plum. But it's really nice to be able to add a little theming color to your Edge browser. And if you click Discover More Themes here, I can download all sorts of other themes right here, some cool stuff that you can choose from. I can download those and use them as well. If you go into Appearance and you don't yet see all of these colors, it's coming very soon to the latest Edge builds. You can get links in the description if you want to get the latest and greatest. That's what I'm on right here, but this is rolling out in the near future. If you found this video useful, give it a like. Now, if you want to keep up with all the latest quick tip videos that I'll keep releasing, subscribe to my channel and then just ring the bell so you get notified for all the new videos that post.